Do you want me on the beam or do you want me floating around? How formal do you want this to be?
Those are really questions for me because I'm sitting here.
Oh.
That's my back.
Ah. Well, if you're going to sit here, then I got it. So Ian, how formal do you want this to be? Do you want me to call pages and things, or do you just want to...
When you feel appropriate. If I think of it, I will.
Okay. What page are you going to start on? Okay, are you going to start with, what are you going to start with? Yedi Nefesh and then what?
I'm probably running right through it.
Okay, great. Shalom Aleichem in there anywhere? No? Okay.
Before Kiddush, isn't that?
Yeah, okay, we'll do it then.
Later,
Yeah,
I think?
Yep.
Because I'm not sure that...
Right, so we've got a plan. So the plan is that at the end of the service, we're going to walk from here, and everyone's going to find their seat. So we're going to walk there while singing Shalom Aleichem. And then when we're all in our seats, I'm going to make Kiddush, and then we're going to make Motzi, and then people can eat.
So nothing is in there. It's all out.
It's all out there.
I like it.
Actually, there's a couple people, there's one table in there for the people who don't like it.
Well, only one?
I meant it.
Oh, I didn't grab a book.
Any book.
Page away. Sorry.
Here we go. Good Shabbos, everyone. Good evening. Welcome. Our service is going to begin on page 10, and Ian will be leading us.
Yedi nefesh harachaman mishach avdach el ritzonach yarut avdach kemayam yishtach abel muhadarach ki Matik yehemu rachamecha v'chusna aveinu havach ki zekama nichsaf lira b'tiferet uzach anayli Shana ve'al titalam higalena ufros chaviv alay et sukat shelomach ta'ir eretz michvadach nagila v'nismecha Maherahu kivamae v'chavaneni kime'olam yadadai Anana Ladana Nari Alatur Yishenu Nekad Mapana Vitada Bismira Nari Alo Kiel Gadol Adonai Umelech Gadol Al Kol Elohim Asher B'yado Mechirei Aretz V'toaf Tarim Lo. Maram Tawilab Haim Vehaim Lo Yadudarafai Asher Nibati Bapi Imivaun Amenupati.
Page 13.
Shir Adonai Shir Chadash.
Shir Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Page 14.
Lifnei Adonai Kiva Lishpat Haaretz Yishpat Tevel B'tzedek V'yamim B'emunato.
Page 15.
Adonai Malach Tagel Haaretz.
Yismechu Hayim Yorabim Banan V'rafel V'zevivan Sedek Mishpat Nechon Kisu. Page 16.
Or Zerah Letzadik Ul Yisraelev Simcha Simchu Tzadikim Badonai V'hodu Lezecher Kadsho. Mizmor Sharonai Shir Chadash.
Page 17.
Adonai Kiva Lishpat Haaretz Yishpat Tevel B'tzedek V'yamim B'mesharim. Ernim Malach Yirgazu Amim.
Page 18.
Adonai Eloheinu Ata V'anitam El Nosei Hayita Lahem V'nokem Ala Lilotam. Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu V'ishtachavu Lahar Kadsho Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu.
Page 21, we rise.
Mizmor LeDavid Avu Adonai B'nei Elim
Avu Ladonai Kavod Va'oz. Avu Ladonai Kavod Shemo. Ishtachavu Ladonai B'hadrat Kodesh. Kol Adonai al Hamayim El HaKavod Hirim Adonai al Mayim Rabim. Kol Adonai Ba'koach. Kol Adonai Behadar. Kol Adonai Shover Arazim. Vaishaber Adonai et Arzei Havanon. Vayarkidem Kemo Egel Lebanon V'Sirion Kemo Ben Re'emim. Kol Adonai Chotzev Lavatesh. Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar. Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh. Kol Adonai Yechol El Ayalot. Vayechasav Ye'arot. Ubehechalo Kulo Omer Kavod. Adonai Le'lamod Yashav. Vayeshev Adonai Melech Le'olam. Adonai Os Le'amo Yitin. Adonai Yevarech et Amo B'Shalom. be seated. Either page 22 or page 23.
23.
Page 23 it is.
Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Ishmiyanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shem el tiferet v'litfilah Lecha dodi Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki hi makor ha'baracha Me'rosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh v'machshavat tchila Lecha dodi Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Mikdash melech ir melucha Kumitzei mitocha hafecha Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha Vehu yachmol alayich nemla Lecha dodi Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Pnei Shabbat nekabela
Page 24.
Itna ari me'afar kumi Leave shibigdei tifartecha mi Al yed ben yishai beit alachmi Karva el nafshi ge'ala Lecha dodi Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Hitoreri Kiva orech kumi ori Uri shira beri Kevod Adonai elayich negla Lecha dodi Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lo tevo shiva lo tikal mima Tishtochachi umatehemi Bach yechasu aniyeh ami v'nivneta ir al tila Lecha dodi likrat kahala Pnei Shabbat nekabela
25.
V'hayilim Jesus Shosayach v'racha kuko Mevalayich Yasis alayich Elohayich Kimsos chatan al-kala Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Yamin usmo tifrotzi be'et Adonai Ta'aritzi al yad ish ben harti v'nismecha ונסמכה ונגילה לך דודי לקראת קהלה בני שבת שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בלה גם בשמחה ובסחולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת קהלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קהלה בני שבת נקבלה. We may be seated, page 27. מזמור שיר ליום השבת.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת. תולדות לאדוני. We're on page 28.
Yunuvim Beseva, the Shani Miran in Vihil, Hakikir Shadanai, Terivala Tabo.
Page 29.
Adonai Malach, Gayut Lavesh.
Lavesh Adonai Osi Tazan.
Edo Techa Nemnu Me'ol Levetcha, Nava Kodesh, Adonai Leorech Yamim.
Page 30, Mourner's Kaddish.
Yikadal, V'yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalmad divrach hiritei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach, l'yam hamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal, Shemei d'Kudusha Baruchu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen. Do you want to speak now or later?
Now it's good.
Okay. Yashikoa.
Yeah.
Ian asked if I would share a few words of wisdom tonight. So this is a classic Jewish folk tale, and it's been told in different ways by different people, and this particular telling is filtered through the imagination of Eddie Feinstein in California. So once many years ago, there's a village, and there's Reb Chaim. Reb Chaim is the richest man in the village. He is the synagogue president. And there's Reb Yankel, who's the poorest person in the village. Every Friday evening, Reb Chaim comes to the synagogue. He's dressed in his exquisite suit, expensive fur hat. He arrives early so that he can exchange greetings with all the other people. At the end of the service, Reb Chaim would rise, wish the congregation a good Shabbos, and stride up the hill to his magnificent mansion. His butler would meet him at the door, showed him into the regal dining room. Table fit for a king awaited him. Reb Chaim sit, surrounded by the very finest china, flatware, crystal, served the most sweetest, most heavenly challah from the very famous bakery in town. And none of this brought him any joy, because he was alone. It was just him and the challah. He had no family and he had no friends. Now, one Shabbos, Reb Chaim's staring at the empty golden platters, and he realizes he needs a friend, right? And who would be a worthy friend for him to share a meal with? God, of course. God is the person you want to share a meal with. So he says, great, he's got a plan. So the next week, he goes to the baker's shop and says, here's what I want you to do. Make 2 extra challahs. I'll pick up 2. On my way to the synagogue, the rest you deliver as normal to the house. He goes to the synagogue extra special early. He goes into the synagogue and he goes to the ark. He opens the ark and he has manna with God. He says, God, I love you. You've done so many wonderful things for me in my life. I want to share with you some of the joy. My favorite thing is the challah. Here, I've brought some for you. And he puts the warm, fragrant challah into the ark, closes the doors. Next Shabbos that morning, he comes back and he's waiting for the Torah service, right? Torah service, they open the ark, and guess what? No challahs. God must have enjoyed the challahs. This is amazing. He decides he'll do it again next week. This goes on for a year. No one is the wiser. There's no crumbs ever in the ark. One week, the shamus, who takes care of the synagogue, arrives a bit early. It was like one of these nights here where the sun is going down at 2 in the afternoon, and why should he bother to go home, right? And he's there, he's setting things up, and he hears the door open, and in comes Reb Chaim with a bag under his arm, and he's looking, and Reb Chaim goes and opens the ark and says some kind of prayer and puts the challahs in the ark and closes the ark, and the shamus is thinking, that's weird. That's really weird. I'm going to have to stay around afterwards and take those out of the ark because it's going to be a mess next morning. Now, we introduced Reb Yankel. Remember, we haven't told anything about him for a while, so let's return to Reb Yankel. Reb Yankel always arrives at the synagogue late because he is working for the very last minute about his daily. Each week he looks forward to coming home to dinner with his family, but it's not much because he's got his wife, he's got his kids, he's got his parents, he's got his in-laws, he's got his nieces, he's got some random cousins, and this poor guy who just started showing up and just comes every week. And he's really stretched thin providing for them. And one particular week, this was like a year already in the past, he was at synagogue, he arrived late, and he didn't want to go home because there was nothing to provide. He had no food for the table that week. And he goes, and after everyone leaves, he goes before the ark and he prays to God. He says, Ribono shel olam, I've worked hard all my life. I worked so hard. And I've got nothing to show for the family this week. And I give up. I'm done. And he leans forward and his head bangs against the ark doors. And there's a smell. It's warm. It's like doughy, yeasty. He's confused. He opens up the ark and 2 challahs. Thank you, thank you. Takes them out, closes the doors, goes home, feeds his family. It's a miracle. The next week, he shows up at shul. Dear God, last week you gave me a miracle. I know miracles are, rare, but do you think you could? And he opens the ark and you'll never guess what? 2 challahs. So this has also been going on for about a year. in short, Reb Chaim is dropping off the challahs early, and Reb Yankel is taking the challahs late. Reb Chaim is having the time of his life because he's sharing meals with God and he's happy. And Reb Yankel is having the time of his life because he's got heavenly bread. Almost as good, even better than the bread from the famous bakery in town. But this one night, the shamus saw what was happening at the beginning, and he sticks around, and he sees what's happening at the end. And as Reb Yankel takes the challah from the ark, he breaks out laughing. He breaks out laughing. He says, Yankel, hang on a moment. Don't move. And he goes out in the street and he catches up to Reb Chaim and he brings him back to sing. I said, I want to show you something. This is hilarious. For whatever reason, you put challah in the ark today. He says, yeah, I put challah in the ark. Doubles over and laughing. This is funny. You know what? Let me guess. Reb Yankel, how long have you been getting challahs from the ark? He says, yeah, how do you know about that? I get them from God. It's a miracle. It's like been a year. He says, no. Listen to each other. You guys are hilarious. You've been putting challah in the ark, which is like some kind of avodah zarah. You know, God doesn't eat bread. And here you're like the richest man in town. You're not very bright here. If you think this is going to work. And you think miracles happen? No, you've been having his leftovers. And both men are dejected. Chaim goes home and he's like, the last year of my life has been a lie. I've been eating meals alone. And Reb Yankel is so sad. He doesn't throw away the bread because it's food, but it tastes like dust. Well, the next morning, the rabbi summons both men and the shamus after services and says, I got to talk with you guys. I had the strangest dream last night. I dreamt that God came to me and said, I'm going to destroy the world now. He says, God, why are you going to destroy the world? He says, you know, God says, I'm taking no joy from the world anymore. The only thing that has sustained the world is the joy that I've received from Reb Chaim. Because he is so in love. Each week it sustains me. And Reb Yankel and the joy for him and his family that feel touched and blessed by me. Again, I get that joy. That's why I bothered to even have the world in existence. But this week I got nothing. The rabbi says in the dream to God, hang on. Can you hold off destroying the world? Maybe I can fix this. And he goes and he talks to the three gentlemen. And he says, here's what you got to do. You got to fix this. You got to find a solution. So what's the solution that they found? It's simple, right? What's the solution? Yeah, Reb Chaim invited Reb Yankel and his whole family over for dinner every week. And the shamus, now the way that Eddie Feinstein tells the story, the shamus gets punished and he has to leave town and go all over the world telling this story so that people hear it. I think that's a terrible ending to the story, and so because I mean, all he's doing is like telling people what's going on. And it's not like he told, well, it's kind of like he told people that the tooth fairy isn't real, or something about the Hanukkah, which I'm not going to mention. So in my version of the story, the shamus also joins them for dinner. And all three of them participate and they provide challahs through the bakery for the whole community. And that's the way I like to tell that story. So this week, tonight, our presidents, No resemblance to Reb Chaim. But they've invited all of us to dinner tonight. And the challahs are from the best bakery, so I hear. And so I thought that that story would be appropriate to tell so we can all enjoy the joy of having a meal together. And in that reason, all of our joy here will stop God from destroying the world. So it's all on you. You have to enjoy the meal tonight, or else. Okay. We're going to rise for the evening prayer, the Baruch Hu, the call to prayer. And I think we're going to find that tonight on page 39 of your choice. Baruch Adonai HaMavarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. We may be seated. Asher bidvaro mariv haravim.
My very own, Umevin Laila, Umavdil Ben Yonavein Laila, Adonai Tzvaot Shemo, El Chai V'Kayam, Temid Yimlach Aleinu, Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Amari V'Aravim.
Amen. Page 40.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Al Kein Adonai Eloheinu, V'shafenu u'v'kumenu, Nasiach b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki en chayenu, v'yorech yameinu, u'bahem negeh yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. V'avatcha tasir mimenu li'olamim, Baruch Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Amen.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavecha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol me'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom alevavecha, v'shinata divarta, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, v'lechtecha b'derech, v'shachbecha v'kumecha, v'kshartam liot al yadecha, v'hayu l'totafu bein einecha, u'chtavtam amazuzu beitecha u'b'isharecha.
V'haya.
Adonai Elohechem emet.
V'menachazol yom aleinu. Page 43. Page Page 44.
Machotob Rato Kibul Alehem Moshe Bnei Uriah Moshe Ubnei Yisrael Chanishira B'Simcha Rabba V'Yamru Chulam Mi Kamocha Elim Adonai Mi Kamocha Nedar B'Kodesh Norati Lo Tosefeh Malchutcha Ra'uvanecha Bokeyayam Lifnei Moshe Ze'eli Anu V'Yamru
Adonai Yimlach Le'olam Va'ed.
V'nemar Kifad Adonai Yaakov U'ga'alo Mi'ad Chazak Mimenu Baruch Ata Adonai Gal Yisrael.
Amen. Ashkivenu Adonai Lehinu L'Shalom. Page 45.
Shmor Tzeitenu Uvavenu L'chaim L'Shalom Me'ata V'yad Olam Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Baruch Ata Adonai Haparei Sukat Shalom Aleinu V'Kol Am Yisrael V'Al Yerushalayim.
Amen. Page 46, we rise.
V'Shamru
V'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam.
Israel
Oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam.
Ki sheshet yamim, ki sheshet yamim, asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Yitkada v'yitkada shemei Rabba. Madivrach Yerutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayedecho beit Yisrael v'agala u'bizman kariv v'imeru.
Amen.
Yesh me Rabba mevarach le'olam le'olam me'omaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitramah v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudusha b'richu li'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imeru.
Amidah begins page 47, concludes page 52. After the Amidah. Oh, yeah, it's quiet. After the Amidah, you can either be seated or just stay standing up for the next part. If you're still davening, please don't let us interrupt you. Please continue on davening. We're going to rise, page 53, for Vayehulu.
Vayehulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol sevam vayachal Elohim b'yom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishot b'yom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa vayavarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto ki moshelach mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanura, El Elyon, K'nei Shamayim va'aretz, Magen Avot Bidvaro, Mechayei Meitim B'Ma'amaro, Ha'el HaKadosh She'ein Kamohu, Ha'aniach Le'amo, B'yom Shabbat Kosho, Ki Bam Ratza Lehaniach Lahem, Ki Bam Ratza Lehaniach Lahem, Lefanav Navod V'yirav V'chab, V'nodeh Lishmo B'chol Yom Tamid, Ein Avrachot, El Ha'odavot, Adonai Shalom, Mekadesh HaShabbat, V'marech Shevi, U'meniach B'kedusha, Le'amed Lishnei Ohenem, Zefer L'Maaseh L'Reishit. Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu Retzei B'midot Avinu Kashenu b'mitzvotecha v'teinhelkeinu b'toratecha Savaheinu mituvecha v'samachenu b'shuatecha v'taher libeinu le'ovdecha b'emet v'hamtileinu Adonai Eloheinu be'ahava uv'ratzon Shabbat Kodshecha Yaduchu B'al Yisrael Mekadeshei Shemecha Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Kaddish Shalom.
K'davi Kadashem Me'rabah.
Amen.
Yom Adivrach Hiruteh V'yamlich Machuteh B'chayachon V'yimachon V'chayerecha B'Yisrael B'agalav Makari V'yimeru. Amen. Yehesh Me'rabah Mevorach Yolam Le'al Me'amaya Yitbarach Yishtabach Yitbar V'chamavit Naseh V'yitadar V'yitala V'yitalal Shemida Kudasha Richu Le'lam Mikol Berchata V'shirata Tishbachata V'nechamata Damiram Be'alma V'yimeru. Amen. Titkabel Soton V'aton D'chol Yisrael Kadam V'hondi V'shmai V'yimeru. Amen. Yehesh Lam Barabba Min Shemai V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimeru. Amen. Yoseh Shalom B'mramav Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimeru. Amen.
Yashikoah.
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 Announcements. Announcements. Give you a break. Yeah. Yashikoah. All right. This is my part. Keep the best for last. It's really not that long. It was just raining. I do want to start by saying how amazing it is to see everyone here tonight and to come out in the rain, in the cold, to celebrate the beginning of Shabbos together, and it's just a wonderful thing. When Ian and I were elected co-presidents and we sat down to talk about what were our goals, one of the things that we really wanted to do, because of everything that happened during COVID, was to bring everyone back into this beautiful building and make it much more alive. Not, because we had just had so much time kind of apart. And this is part of that effort. Whether it be Friday night services with a free meal, chicken, your favorite holiday, comedy night, adult ed, cook for a friend, it doesn't matter. We just want you to come and join us and enjoy this beautiful space that so many people, many of you here, contributed to in your time, in your energy, and in your kind donations. And what better way to bring everybody back? In addition to tonight's casual event, we're planning a lot more things, so I want everyone to know, because it is announcements. We're going to have an expanded ONEG at least once a month after Saturday morning services. Keep an eye out on the announcements and in the calendar, and please come and join us where we'll have a beautiful lunch afterwards. Hopefully we can expand that to maybe more than once a month, but definitely once a month. And as it grows and if you're celebrating a Simcha and you'd like to make a donation, that would be wonderful, so we can all break bread together. I think it's very important also to acknowledge that today the world is a very different place than it was in 2019. And even just how we get together and celebrate, if you think back all the way back to when the shul started in Levittown. And it's important for us as leadership to adjust to the times. And that's the other thing that we're working very hard on, is to make sure that we continue to serve your needs and everyone's needs in the congregation. And so we do ask that if you have something that you'd like to contribute, something you'd like to share, positive, negative, to please reach out to Ian or myself. Don't hesitate, talk to Barbara, and let us know, and we are going to do our best to work to respond to your needs. But we only know that if you can share that with us. I have been told that we're having problems with our emails, with presidents@bethelyardley.org. So some folks have emailed Ian and myself, and maybe we haven't gotten back to you. It isn't because we are ignoring you, it's because we may not have gotten the email. So if you don't get a response right away, you can also let Barbara know. A few important dates that are coming up. 10:30 on Sunday the 3rd is Culture and Cream Cheese, formerly known as Book Nosh. 7 p.m. Tuesday, December 5th, Sisterhood is having a jewelry swap. 7 p.m. on Wednesday, December 6th, Men's Club is having the monthly Torah on Tap. Erev Hanukkah, the 7th. 4 p.m. on December 12th is Cook for a Friend. It's a wonderful, wonderful event, and I really encourage you, if you have the time, to come. I also want to let everyone know that in the last week of December, Barbara is going to be journeying to Israel, and we want to wish her a safe journey. Rabbi is taking a break. So that last week of December, we're going to be a little short around here. We're going to have limited hours between the 26th and the 2nd, but they will be returning. Finally, I want to share something with you that happened to me this past month and a half. If you go into the front of the synagogue in the foyer there, what you're going to do you can see, you can find these blue yarns, okay? I don't know if you've ever heard or seen this. And you wear it in solidarity and support of Israel. I myself, when everything was going on during those first few weeks, was struggling on what I could do because, you know, the world is a big place. Israel is far away, and we give money and we do things. But I just wanted to do something kind of in part for myself and in part just, you know, to share, you know, where I stood. And so I decided to put this on, and I'm gonna wear it while everything's going on. And when I have it on my wrist, I think about what's going on there. I think about the hostages. I think about, you know, the struggles. And, you know, I think that in a strange sort of way, it gives me a little comfort. So it also has given me an opportunity to talk to my Jewish and my non-Jewish friends as I'm out and about, because people ask me, well, what is that? And that has been a nice way for me to share my thoughts and to talk to people about it. And I think that that's important, that, you know, that we do talk about it, because a lot of folks, especially a lot of non-Jewish folks, don't really understand what's going out there. And I think we have a responsibility to share what's going on. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you want to join me and pick up a little blue string and put it on your wrist, I invite you. Lastly, you know, on behalf of Ian, myself, our family, we want to thank you for joining us this evening. Shabbat Shalom.
A word or two of housekeeping before we conclude our service. So in keeping with the idea that we've all been invited to Ian and to Mark's house, it's traditional to sing Shalom Aleichem on your way home from synagogue. So we're going to try, here's the challenge, to walk and sing at the same time. So at the end of the service, we're going to start singing Shalom Aleichem, and we're going to walk through those doors and pass by the buffet and actually find our own seats at the tables. And then, just as you would on a normal Friday night, at your table, you will find challah, and you will find cups of juice for Kiddush. We'll make Kiddush, we'll bless our children, we may or may not sing Eshet Chayil, depending upon the mood and how hungry we are. Then we'll break bread, and then you're welcome to go through the buffet and get bread. But your marching orders, literally, is at the end of the service, we'll say Shabbat Shalom, and we'll walk out, and everyone find a seat at the table, okay? Okay, good. Okay. Let's stand up. Page 56, Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach
Ladon hakol,
Lateit gdula le'yoseh bereshit, shelo asanu k'goyeh ha'aratza, velo samanu mishpachot ha'adama, shelo samhokenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malachei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu unotei shamayim v'yoser haaretz u'moshev yekaro v'shamayim mima'al Ushpina tuzo, begodei meromim, Hu Eloheinu einod, Emet Malkeinu efes kakahatu b'torahato, Yadata hayom lehashivota elevavata, Adonai hu Elohim, Hashamayim imahal, v'haaretz mitzvachat enod.
Eloheinu, Ner Mahera B'Teferet Uzecha.
Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed.
We may be seated. If you are saying Kaddish tonight, I invite you to remain standing. And because Kaddish is this part of the service where we allow people who are saying Kaddish in honor of someone and leading a prayer in honor of someone, if you'd like to let us know for whom you are saying Kaddish so we know to whose credit this prayer is being said, feel free to call out the name that we should have in mind. Mourners Kaddish.
Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yamat divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael v'agala v'bizman karib v'imru.
Amen. Yehesh me Rabbah mevarach le'olam alameh omaya.
Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh Yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudesha
B'richu.
Eila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehe shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'miramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael.
Amen. We may be seated. Yigdal, page 62.
Yigdal Elohim chai v'yishtabach nimtza v'yenei tel metziyuto echad v'yen yachid keyichudo ne'lam v'gam ein sof le'achduto in lo demutagu Kedushato kadmon l'chol davar asher nivra rishon v'yen reshit l'reshito hino adon olam v'chol notzar yoreg gdulato malchuto shefan nevuato netanel anshe segulato v'tifa Naviu mavita temunato Torah natan li'amoel Al yad neviyo neman beito Yachalifa el V'lo yamir dato Le'olamim l'zulato Tzofeh b'yodea Setarenu Mabit l'sof davar b'kadmato Gomel ish chesed kemifalo, noten l'ashara kerishato, yishlach l'ketzayimim b'shichenu, liftot l'chakeketz Yeshuato, meitim yachayael v'rav chasto, baruch harei shem tehilato, meitim yachayael v'rav chasto, baruch harei Good Shabbos, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem.